What's good, YouTube? Little late, but we're gonna talk about Julius Randle. This is gonna be more of a quick hitter. I'm not the biggest Julius Randle person. I never was a fan of him. I kept trying to tell people the Lakers should not draft Julius Randle. As you guys know, I made several videos about that. They ended up drafting him. They did not make the playoffs. He was not a franchise changing player. He did not do it. They didn't do anything. They didn't make the playoffs, and he never really lived up to that top 7 pick. I think he was. He never lived up to that. But I felt like he just didn't have the right fit. He was a 7 pick in the 2014 NBA draft. He played 4 seasons. Um, with Los Angeles Lakers with a career high of 49 games started, 16 points, 55 from the field, 22 from three, 71 from the free throw line. He also gave you 8 rebounds, 2.6 assists per game. Remember, Luke Walton and Alvin Gentry, they played under a guy named Steve Kerr. And at the end of the day, Alvin Gentry knows Luke Walton. Luke Walton knows Steve Kerr. They all know each other. They all got these pace and space, ball movement, offense. They got the best out of Randle. I remember Luke Walton said he can possibly beat Draymond Green. He doesn't care enough defensively. Ain't really the rim protector either. Not nowhere near as good as a defender, but he is a better offensive player. Can really body a lot of people, tough on him. He can't do it as much as he did in high school and college. But to me, he did make improvements. He did show signs of growth this year. Um, that's the best thing for the Pelicans, knowing that he does want to be a pro. He is taking it very seriously, and he is trying to become a better player. Um, at the end of the day, we're going to really have to see if this is a good fit. I'm a personally, he can be a 6 man. I don't really see him starting on this team because of the floor spacing and the lack of it. Plus, if they're going to use Alfred Payton as the point guard, then they have even less floor spacing. But if they go back to using Drew Holiday as the point guard, he can handle the ball, create in the pick and roll, shoot the three. And we already know Anthony Davis is virtually unstoppable and unguardable on the offensive end. He only signed a 2-year, $18 million deal. I feel like at the end of the day, they're going to try him out, see if he fits, see if they can use him. They're not paying him that much money. They're not going broke for him. They're not going high on him. Let's pick up a guy that we like, try him out for a couple seasons, see if he develops, see if he fits, and then we can talk about giving him a 5-year deal down the line, maybe even less than that. But we don't really know. He's young. He's just now getting the basketball IQ. He's just now getting able to adjust to the scouting report. He's consistently adding to his game to a certain extent. He hasn't really had any major improvements right now, but he has shown consistent growth, and he showed that he can start on this level and that he can get quality minutes and be productive. And at the end of the day, for 2 year $18 million, that's not that bad for a guy like him. Even if I'm not a big fan of him, even though I don't like him, he's a quality guy. He's a solid starter. You lose Boogie, that's a huge loss, but I feel like they can still make the playoffs with this roster. I definitely want to see Miritich though, how much he fits in because he's not a defender or a rim protector either. He's more of a chucker, but he improved too. So Miritich was a low efficient guy. He was able to improve his efficiency last year. They make a trade to get him. He fits in perfectly with AD. Now I want to see what they're going to do with Randle. I feel like he's more of a 6 man. Come in there, get you some good minutes, beat up the lower level players, beat up the bench players. And if he can get you 10, 12 points off the bench, that's better than what they had last year, in my personal opinion. And even if Meritus gets injured or AD gets injured, you got a guy that can still give you some quality 30, 35, 40 minutes if necessary for a couple weeks. And you're going to get a drop off, but at least he can be productive in that role. And considering that they lost other players too off this roster, it is good for them to have somebody coming back that can help them. They still got Jordan Crawford. They still got Etwan Moore. They added Alfred Payton. They gotta get a bigger guy to have. Oh, they gotta make Okafor. So it's a solid team. This ain't a championship move. This is not gonna put them over the top. That's not gonna make him a guaranteed lock to me in the Western Conference, but it's also a move that ain't terrible, ain't bad, and he's still young, and we can see what we can get out of him right now. So let me know what you guys think about Julius Randle. Do you think they should have made this signing? Do you think he's overrated? Do you think he was a bust? Do you think he can develop? Do you think they should have gave him this contract and he potentially can be a six-man of the year candidate? Or do you think he's a starter and you feel like he should start over Mirotic? Even though he has the floor spacing for AD and Drew Holiday, they don't really have that much talent on this team. They don't really have too much room for talent because of the cap space. But this is a guy that you know what you're going to get. And that's sometimes important, especially when you lose other guys that you relied on last year to be an integral part of your team and success. And now you get a guy that can at least be productive. So I don't really think that it's that bad of a thing, and it ain't that much of money. I can see if you paid him 15, 20 million a season, you're only paying him 9 million a season. So it's not that bad. And 2 years from now, he can leave anyway. And if you didn't like him, you didn't waste that much space. You don't really have roster spots to really give out to other players. He's better than a majority of the players they could get anyway. So I don't really see how this hurts him or hurts them. And if he has a chip on his shoulder and he wants to prove himself, you're only paying him $9 million anyway. So worst case scenario, he walks 2 years later. Best case scenario, he has a chip on his shoulder, wants to work harder, wants to prove his doubters wrong, and you get the best out of him because of that. And on top of that, he might be a better fit than we might actually think, or he can just be a guy that can beat up on scrubs, and that's not that bad either. As long as you score in the basketball, you should be good. And he showed that he can do that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis, I'm gone. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. I'm gone. And let me know if you think this was a steal or do you think it was a waste.